In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to swallow the red pill and the 3 things that you must give up in order to escape the matrix. Now, when I refer to the red pill, I am not referring to the men's rights movement. I am referring to the red pill as per the documentary film The Matrix. Okay, now the reason I refer to The Matrix as a documentary film because it is such an appropriate metaphor for the human experience that we're going through right now, how society is functioning as a whole as well. Okay, so what exactly is The Matrix? I'll let Morpheus tell you that from his own words.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
So the Matrix is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. Okay, now what is the truth? The truth is, the reality is that you are a divine spiritual being having a temporary human experience. And there are so many systems that have been established which collectively form the system, which is blinding us from this reality, which is holding us back from experiencing who we really are. Okay, for example, the education system, which from like when we're little kids, they tell us to sit down, to only speak when we're spoken to ask for permission, to take instructions, and everyone who's moving through the education system, towards the end of it, they are the ones who are best at following instructions. Okay, do what you're told, speak when you're spoken to, and stay in your place. Okay, secondly, it's the food, the big food industries who are basically giving us these foods that are not nourishing our bodies. They are draining the energy from our bodies. They are not allowing us to think properly because what we eat affects how we think. The food is getting us sick. Then there's the pharmaceutical industry. They're giving us pills to mask the symptoms of these illnesses. So the reality is that there are a bunch of these industries that are coming together which are holding us back from experiencing who we truly are. But this is the time of awakening. This is the time where we have access to the information that will allow us to expand our awareness and build our competency in terms of only engaging our energy, our time, our resources, our money towards the things which help us nourish our spirit, which help us experience who we really are. Okay, because ask yourself what you are currently expending your energy on. Is it booze? Is it weed? Is it pharmaceuticals? Is it like McDonald's? Like whatever you put your energy towards, that is where your energy will go. And in the documentary film The Matrix, the premise is basically that artificial intelligence has taken over and they are now using humans as an energy source. Okay, they're using humans as an energy source to continue expanding, to continue growing. And this is very applicable to modern society because all these big industries are functioning for their own benefit. Okay, think about the medical system. The only way that everyone gets paid, the nurses, the doctors, the pharmaceuticals, they only get paid when you're sick. When you are healed, when you are fine, when you are healthy, when you're vital, when you're waking up with energy, then they do not get paid. Okay, I'm not pointing my finger at any particular individual within the system, but the reality is that the system has taken on a life of its own, whether it's the education system, the pharmaceutical industry, the food industry. All of these systems have developed in a way where they are generating revenue, they are generating energy by us putting our energy over there, by us putting our money over there, by us spending time engaged with their products and services. Okay, so there are 3 things that are keeping you plugged into the matrix, that are keeping you plugged into this world of illusion, and overcoming these illusions is really the first step towards opening up and waking up to who you really are as a divine spiritual being having a temporary human experience. Okay, now the first thing that is keeping you plugged into the matrix is your identification with thought. Okay, most people on this planet today are unaware that they are not their thoughts. Okay, they are so caught up in this internal drama taking place between their ears that they think that they are their thoughts. Okay, but the reality is that in order to perceive something, you have to be outside of it. The fact that you can observe your thoughts means that you are not your thoughts. Okay, and they've put brains under an fMRI scans, and they have found that when you are thinking, when you're going through that incessant thought chatter, the parts of your brain which light up when you're speaking actually light up when you're going in through your internal thought chatter as well. So that thought of your brain constantly going through, it's literally your brain talking to yourself. And when you can disidentify with it, then you can stop being the slave of your brain. Okay, you can regain control, become the master of your mind, and serve and do the things which serve you. Okay, think the thoughts that serve you and let go of the thoughts that are not serving you, that are holding you back from living up to who you really are capable of living up as. Okay, now the fact is that it's very easy to get caught up in this drama. Okay, I myself find myself becoming unconscious from time to time, whether it's like through scrolling where my brain has become wired to favor that dopamine, or whether it's through anything to distract myself from what's going on right here, right now. Obviously, these phones are a major factor in that, but the best way that I've found to disidentify from the thoughts is, of course, now I hesitate to use the word meditation, but just to observe the thoughts going on between your head. Because when we think of the word meditation, a lot of us have the association with meditation that it's about sitting in one place and just not thinking anything. But the more we try not to think, the more we think, and the more thoughts that come in our heads, we're like, oh, I just can't meditate. I just suck at meditation. So I hesitate to use the word meditation, but just if you sit in your space of silence and just observe the drama going on between your ears, the more you can disidentify from the thoughts, the more you can go into the observer's framework, the more you can identify as the sky rather than the clouds in the sky. Okay, that's the best analogy, because the sky is ever present, the sky is always there, but the clouds, they come and go. It's the same with the thoughts going on between your ears. Okay, they come, they go. It's up to you to choose the ones that are serving you and let go of the ones that are not serving you. And the ones that are hindering you, the ones that are holding you back, trace their outline. Where do they actually come from? And more often than not, they have been picked up from something outside of you. Okay, so give up your identification with thought and become the observer of your thoughts so that you can master your mind. Okay, now the second thing that you must give up, the second thing that is keeping you plugged into the matrix, and it's really about it's about disidentifying with who you think you are. Okay, letting go of who you think you are. Because when let's just say you realize you're not your thoughts, and then the second thing is, okay, I'm my body, but the reality is that every single one of your cells within your body changes like every 7 to 11 years or something like that. Okay, every single component that makes up this physical structure of yours changes. So that means that the body is not you, the mind is not you, the body is just a vehicle of consciousness. Okay, it's there to take you through your trials and tribulations. It is vehicle is the best one. It's like a vessel. Okay, it's a vessel, and the less you can identify it, the more you can identify with it, the more you can end up using it as a tool. Okay, so your mind is something that you have, you are not your mind. Your body is something that you have, you are not your body. And your identity, which can be thought of as the ego, which is attachment to any form, is something that can serve you or hinder you as well. Okay, now if your current identity is as a porn addict, as an alcoholic, as someone who's lazy, as someone who's lacking motivation, then that identity is not currently serving you. Unless you love misery, okay? But if you had a choice to choose between misery and joy, you would probably choose joy. And if your current identity is not serving you, then realize that your identity, your combination of your thoughts, your behaviors, your emotions, your prejudices, your opinions, all of these have no existential basis. Okay, they are all, again, psychological drama that's going on between your ears. And if you can identify which ones are serving you and which ones are not serving you, then you can let go of the ones that are not serving you and choose to show up in your most empowered expression. Okay, I told a story about this before as well, but basically I used to identify as an introverted person, as a shy person. And then I took a solo trip to Amsterdam for the first time in my life. And after that trip, after I met more people in 1 week than I had in my previous 18 years, that is when I realized that who I think I am is not who I really am. Okay, I can change. I am like, your identity is completely moldable. Okay, you can completely transform yourself. Like Bruce Lee would say, you can become like water and just become who you are most empowered in your expression. Okay, become who is most capable of showing up in this moment right now, rather than attaching to identity that holds you back. If you think you're lazy, then you're like, oh, I'm just lazy. Yeah, that's my cop out right now. I'm just not gonna do it. Oh, I'm just an addict. Oh, I'm just an alcoholic. Oh, I'm just have ADD. Like whatever these attachments are, they're actually holding you back from showing up as the most capable version of yourself. They're keeping you plugged into the matrix, which is the world of illusion that has been pulled over your eyes. Okay, so let go of your thoughts, let go of identifying with who you think you are. And the third thing that is keeping you plugged into the matrix is your identification with what you think you know. Okay, so the third thing that you have to let go of to escape the matrix is your knowledge, is what you think that you know. Okay, everything that human knowledge has known, like we used to think the earth was flat, now we know that it's round, or maybe not. Okay, now we have like a bunch of people saying that it's flat again. Okay, we used to think that like matter was all there is, but now we know that energy is the component of every single atom in this universe, and like 99% of the atom is empty space, which is energy. Okay, so every new finding in our human history goes through the same four things. Okay, first thing is like a discovery. It's like, okay, you find out the world is actually round. Then there's debate. It's like people getting burned at the stake. Oh, how dare you say that the earth is not round, or how dare you say that the earth is not the center of the universe. Okay, so there's discovery, there's debate, then there's acceptance. It's like, okay, yeah, now I know that the world is round, or now I know that this is definitive evidence showing that the earth is not the center of the universe, that it's actually a solar system and we're revolving around the sun. And then the fourth one is arrogance. Okay, now the arrogance part is when we get so attached to the current knowledge that we think we have, that we hold ourselves back from expanding our knowledge. Okay, so as Epictetus said, I think it was Confucius, he said that true knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Okay, Socrates said that the only thing I know is that I don't know. Okay, and Epictetus says that you cannot learn that which you think you already know. If you can let go of the need to be right, if you can let go of the need to defend what you think to be true, then you can open yourself up to learning even more and growing even more and expanding your awareness even more. Okay, so these three things are the three things that hold a lot of people back. It holds a lot of men back into the struggle of stress, of anxiety, because they get caught up in that internal drama, and then their body has been conditioned with these certain emotions, whether it is to get addicted to that dopamine spike from porn, to get addicted to the dopamine spike from scrolling through social media. If we can learn to let go of these things, then we can enter our true space of power, which is the ability to choose how we want to show up, which is the ability to respond according to our most empowered expression, rather than how we have been conditioned, rather than how we have been programmed. Okay, so these are the three things. If you can learn to implement the practices in your life to let go of them, the more you will open up to growth, to expansion, and implicate the universe in its infinite being. Okay, so if you learned something new from this video, click a bunch of the buttons below. But with all that being said, I want you to leave a comment letting you know what was your number one takeaway from this video. Which is the one thing you will work on giving up right now? Is it the illusion of your thoughts? Is it the illusions of who you think you are? Or is it the illusion of knowledge? And ideally it would be all three of them. You can implement them. But what is one thing you can do right now after watching this video which can help you let go of these three things keeping you plugged in to the matrix? Let me know in the comment section below. With all that being said, this has been Mo, and I will see you in the next video.